Our first agenda was to restore and enhance Lower Manhattan. Lower Manhattan is one of the greatest places on earth. Look at it. Water on three sides, iconic architecture, has everything. But even before 9/11, it was suffering. It was all business. There wasn't a dense residential community. For a city that never sleeps, it went to bed promptly at 5 o'clock. It was really dead on the weekends. So we at City Planning induced more residential development in Lower Manhattan by zoning incentives. But it was very key that this is what Lower Manhattan looks like, and it was just all separate neighborhoods. There was Chinatown, the financial district. This is Battery Park City that operated more on its own. And we were worried about the financial district. And it was very important to bring transportation to Lower Manhattan because a lot of firms, financial firms, had been really leaving for Midtown. And why? Because it was so dead, and there were not good restaurants, not good shops, so more residential. But few people realize, see, this is the Hudson River, this is the East River, this is the financial district in Wall Street. If you work here, you're landlocked. You can't walk to Battery Park City. And this waterfront was horrible. Is horrible, and that's what we really focused on. As you may know, the World Trade Center site there was a law enacted right after 9/11 that this would all be under jurisdiction of the governor. So Mike Bloomberg did not have control of Lower Manhattan, but working with the LMDC, the Lower Manhattan Development Corporation, they let us work on the East River waterfront. By revitalizing this, would provide a great waterfront not only for Wall Street firms, but for the new families and attract new families that were moving into Lower Manhattan. So we have a very cool design. This is just going through the final approvals right now. A different kind of esplanade than Battery Park City, but something that's innovative, fun, energetic, and great. This is, as I say, in final design. It's spectacular. The firms that are working on it, Richard Rogers, Shop Architects, and Ken Smith, even having a beach at the northern end of this strip. This is a mile north of Brooklyn Bridge and a mile south of Brooklyn Bridge. So this is really helping revitalize all of Lower Manhattan. We have almost 10,000 new families that have moved into Lower Manhattan. It's great. The office buildings are now under construction by world-class architects, Foster, Rogers, and Maki. David Childs. Santiago Calatrava is building the new PATH station. Helmut Jahn is building a needle residential tower in Lower Manhattan. And it's really taking off with new confidence and vibrancy, just what the mayor wanted to have happen. Then moving further north, and let me tell you, the idea of business districts was a core piece of what the mayor wanted to do. When he took office, this is a great photograph of Midtown Manhattan. There was only one large floor plate office building site in Midtown Manhattan. If you wanted to build an office building for your corporation, there was no site. So, as you know, taxes come from office buildings in the city, not from residential buildings. So having a place for Midtown to expand was absolutely crucial. Zoning had killed the West Side. Excuse me. This is Midtown. You can see its density is great. That's why people love Midtown. It has that energy and vitality. The zoning stopped. Here's Madison Square Garden. Times Square is about here. This was here was zoned for manufacturing. You can see how it absolutely killed any kind of development because it was illegal to build anything of any density. It was very, very low density, like 5 stories. So we looked at the entire West Side, again, looking zoning comprehensively for doing a large urban design master plan for the entire area. This was for 59 blocks, but it was much bigger than that. We wanted to rezone for 24 million square feet of office space and 13,000 residential units. We are a shortfall of 10,000 residential units. So the master plan was very much a little bit like Battery Park City, weaving, as you know, this is where the convention center is, and how do you create a great place? This is 11th Avenue, 10th Avenue. Just like Park Avenue, drive a boulevard right in the middle of these 2 blocks to create a place, to create a great place. Put a lot of parks, and then everything in brown is residential, and in blue is office building, large floor plates. You can get great corporate office towers. And through this rezoning, we're able to leverage enough money, over $2 billion, to build a new subway line. It's in construction. It's the extension of the number 7 line that will go across 41st Street and all the way down 11th Avenue. Transportation is very important, and that would really leverage a whole new expansion of Midtown Office District. And weaving the parks all the way through it, parks and open space, really create real estate value. They also create a great place. So that's an intricate part of the plan. This is what I call God shining down on Hudson Yards. And the state owns a lot of property here. They've also let that out to bid. This is a rendering of what this might look on the west side. Yes, very dense, but very key for New York to remain competitive with the other great cities of the world. So business districts, very much part of the mayor's plan for 5-borough economic policy. So after we looked at Lower Manhattan and the Hudson Yards, we looked first at downtown Brooklyn. Downtown Brooklyn is right here, great, and what the mayor said is, in each of these business districts, create a different product for different customers. So those who want to locate their corporate office building and have a relationship with Lower Manhattan and financial firms, downtown Brooklyn is the place to be. Here's Lower Manhattan, 1 subway stop, downtown Brooklyn. It has fabulous assets. This is an image, so we do a 3-dimensional master plan. Downtown Brooklyn has these fabulous neighborhoods of Fort Greene, Brooklyn Heights, Boerum Hill, very low-scale neighborhoods. So instead of creating a zoning district, I said, to my great staff, draw what you think it should look like, and then we'll talk about zoning later. So just say, this is Boerum Hill, this is Fort Greene, and Brooklyn Heights is over here, and then you're just right at the Brooklyn Bridge right here. That's the beginning of the Brooklyn Bridge. Great place for an office district, fantastic transportation, like 10 subway lines go in there, perfect place to grow. And so this is the master plan for it. But I just want to show you what we used to do. This is what we'd present to a community. Say, this is what we're going to do for you. Isn't this exciting? And of course, nothing would ever get passed. You say, you're going to get C64. Well, it was frightening and not understandable. And also not very good for our staff either, because you couldn't understand what you were doing from a 3-dimensional point of view. So the whole essence of this master plan was to show people how we were going to have lots of density around it, because the zoning here was for very low, but you really could create, and again, it's office and residential, mixed use, so you have that variety, that street life created by people living there, plus the office for expansion of office space, and this builds on also several universities, and then transitioning down to these low-density neighborhoods. So after this rezoning, and these are all